Abusia mami mo bibi akwaba na memfa ombra ye platform yi eso Nyankopon ehira obibia eni abibia mo supporter modi emai e platform yi eso Alan Kyeremanten de bia meka owurawe sanye ne ho a oye ode kodom MPP for although say oye MPP ni but anye adie bi mistake bi oye way back in 2008 Ujama Nana President Akuffo Addo then time candidate ebeye MPP flag bearer enkurewe na opportunity pa yeka politicians those days omo ana omo wodin omo ana omo ewo eye so powerful enkrofo ti omo din a omo intimate na Alan Kyeremanten Alan Cash. He was one of them. He was one of the vibrant and just great politicians and Ghana for Adumali and as Ghana for Echarishi. But suddenly no, the decision be take here to let Akuffo Addo go before him no. Ena edina bedu sam pempen so it is a lesson to all of us. Opportunity biba mentena senka se o ma memfa me brawo yana me nua we anase me yonku we ensi anamu na okona se eyeyi a wabeboa me ma meka se me kiro ye platform we ebi ya futu ebi enyensesua sebi ebi nso meshe obufu amwa kansem bi ni na aka ho but no kwase me wom ni se abuchira nkofo koyi anase opportunities a ema nkofo make in life no obetimi ye mistake na waboa obi amana kodura abuchire obewie no nipa kro ehu ni sese bi wajimi ena oyesa classic example honorable Kennedy Japan so mo bekaya we made in the story by I think say ndra and some oka or say some of students binuma and some of enkofo binu wukurum ha waboa mo oyini bottom sika e de hwe mo university even or the binum call amonone so mo nko federal mo education na mo fa sanyansa no embra Ghana emeye adwuma ene saafo no majority of the nurse binum ehuna they don't value what he did omomfa ho. They don't value what he does and as what he did for them during those days. But and also just a japapaye. Say, if you haven't reached your destination, try to push yourself first. Alan Kyeremanten a mistake be. We now we are politicians and we are all glamoring or you are all craving to be the president of Ghana. And you led Akuffo Addo and I say you let Akuffo Addo to go first. That was the greatest mistake Alan in his political career, and it is now hunting him. Oyinakumam Edema President Akuffo Addo during those days, but nay Akuffo Addo actually nyansa eka no me oye me papa. Who is why me papa na mo me the bonny any bit yaka, and such a person is a very wicked person. So President Akuffo Addo etimi aya sir Alan Kyeremanten abofom. And let me tell you one thing, there is nowhere Alan beat me winning election in this country. I don't know how it will happen. Maybe it is yet to happen, but me per my checks and per my analysis any me facts and data be a debia me hwe any some a year a post be a cost or internet and so there's no way Alan Kyeremanten can be president in this country unless now he is one of the flag bearer demand either MPP or NDC. ansa watimi abemiki ebia waye president. But the movement na ene odi animu no me yanka nche say movement ni nyo a very great movement, but the movement how it came, how he founded it, you know, in fact it was out of anger. And you know, a lot of Ghanaians ebia MPP mu nkofo bi be firi mu akodi n'echi na watwe omo vote ni bi eno de it is there. And Alan Kyeremanten yi na enim say ontimi emeye president in this country under the watch of NDC and MPP. Ontimi because Ghana for yena yeka ye petted force yi say ebe wi achi no ko simpie no mi kwa meto abama cheda kra na emi say mi ha me ho me say me vote ma me mfa mo aja MPP na NDC ya ma me mfa mo pa na wato e dia mabaako. The same thing applies to Alan Kyeremanten. Alan question and answers bra or press conference you know meeting the media no obiambra na omfa na asem emetu nenim question bia opebia no bisa no yiwa Yewra something lady you know whoever join news or who stood the news file Obiano ebisa brilliant and you know very excellent question. Na Alan Kyeremanten to no boase edandan ensem eni edi kire no. Ofiri wa na countryman Izungu nso ebai fireman ono so bebisa question about the sports ministry no ID Ghana for. You see, one of the ministry asai ba kupa Ghana sports ministry. If you want more about education sector, if you want more about your trade ministry, trade and industry ministry, these are the bigger. Say about digitalization, kwaja uja fuso e digital. Onu kanyo no start ye. Baje se wajia bonebo. Inti anu de ekoso nkakra eguso ekoso. But let me tell you, sports ministry kurumha any since omu dissolve GFA no kwesinya ntachi ene nkofo binum omu gigi adamdie anas aremeya number 12 ode ba ya yechi omo no I dissolve no I think 2012 or so no I stand to be corrected. The sports ministry has not been the same. It has not been in its body since it was dissolved. Even it is even worse than Brana Nyentechinim di anymore so mabokoro. But let me tell you, I didn't know how it was working. During those days, no, and a G cap. During those days, and a G trophies na diade. What you say? But ene omo say obi abokoro no omo yi nkofo bi no afiri ho ene no kra no ena eye kun ni na under the president Akuffo Addo the watch and amasa anima wi ekoso because enema boni ekoso enema fun enema tantan ekoso isi den ena ebitimi ebanisa yankopon hira yebekọ nyekwa akuti saa question yelu wo ya Yewra Alan Kyeremanten welcome from Samson Lady, the host of News File at the Joy News. Samsona Yewra fireman, I think so no the sports you know director and I say Bibisa Ewo Adom TV host sports host what you say Ura so can simbi. Na yebekonya kwa kuti nsem no Ghana emeni no kwadi sisi ya na ebekodi a oman wi ni dachi ini fapem. Yes, sports and education ministry are separate. And these are the things I hold on my beer: sports, education, and what? Trade and industry. Edwedie, commercials, edwedie, any adinim education, any agudie. Sadie we say ya, masa, o mine ni fapim, o mine any fapim. Yakupon shira yankoni yankoti sansem no emfambra de koba yadwedwe nsenimu na yadomu asuko na yahwe the bit me see in future. Nyankopon shall be the mega subscribe for latest update. Yankuti Emfa Embra.
The first time I read the Great Transformational Plan, my summary of it was that it was the coalescing of the things that Ghanaians have demanded for a very long time, including the promises of transforming the constitution, the various parts. So this document for me represents listening to the people. My question revolves around your promise to amend Article 78. You will need sufficient numbers in Parliament in case you won. First, to be able to engineer it, and subsequently for the purposes of a referendum. How are you going to be successful with that? Because that is going to be a major challenge for a group like yours. You can't appoint your ministers, but the majority from Parliament. That dovetails into a part of the question here. How many MPs, candidates, are you nurturing around so that if you got sufficient votes, you will get sufficient members of Parliament to help you in the final event? I'm a believer of a third force, and I believe that your movement can take us there. I have voted for Dr. Pakwesi Indum and voted for Zenato Rawlings. I have voted for Bridget Jugbonuku and voted for Esla Owusu-Ekofo. I stand for the Ghanaian who believes that we need to encourage people like you to change the narrative.
Frankly, but for the fact that Samson believes in the new government, I wouldn't have let him ask 2 questions.
Patrick Osajman, countryman Songo, host of Fire for Fire, Doom TV, fireman. Okay, Exodus, movement of Jah people. Sãd This. It's about Exodus. Okay, all right. Me will have for sports. Just ended Olympics. Medal back Akuffo. You got it. Your football. Ningina Akuffo. Your sports and Kaseye Akuffo. Okay. So me show book more. What I can see, infrastructure, how well you be see make us say inter-schools and I say grassroots and development. Fantastic. In all this, say sports no. Yes, sports the a Akuffo. A good pa. A Akuffo pa. Because I'm a kind of Olympics here Korea medal back grandma. Athletics Akuffo cry. Your football, blasters your ball, 3 matches ana. Your film. Grassroots 17 intimate qualify as we are World Cup da. 20 intimate qualify as we are World Cup da. 23 under 23 say Olympic Games 20 years now. A member football and qualify. What I say? Barcelona 92, Spain, J bronze. You see, it's me question in here. The development of sports is heavily dependent on the personnel chosen to head the ministry. Nipa ubidi ministry nani. Obra ubri nyina ye yo president. Nipa obi yina ubidi sports ministry nani. And no, any the main problem. More fire, more fire. So now, what kind of person are you looking at? So obey to me. Yeah, I understand. I will help the sports ministry. Don't worry, in a professional way. I'm the fireman. I need to also me holding me fire. No, you understand? My building, my brand in yepa. To also me holding fire for fire and more yepa. I'm the fireman. I will always keep them on their toes in a professional way. But when your personality will beat me, your sports and a changing normal, and your sports will beat me a picture. And sports, no, it beat me aboard the youth and the Ghana here, because I know Ghana is all about sports and politics. More fire.
So we have 5.
Samson Ladi, you don't want tree, I know. But I'm beginning to make appointments. Samson is putting a foot in there. Yes, all inclusive. I know he's an independently minded person. Whatever he has to tell you, he has to tell you. So that's the kind of people you need in a government of national unity, which is the anchor of the movement for change. The government of national unity. So Samson, be ready. Anyway, so now he is talking about the fact that when we indicate in the GTP, particularly on, is it page 78? Article 78, on appointment of ministers. He wants to know, because this is a constitutional provision which is entrenched. So if you want to change it, it requires you going through a very extensive, including a referendum. Now, what GTP is saying is that, number one, it will be the subject of this constitutional reform. The constitutional reform will make sure that we remove that limitation of the president that requires him to appoint half of his cabinet from parliament. Of what purpose is it? That particular provision in our laws even reduces the substance of our checks and balances as a country. Because if half of your ministers are in parliament, then can parliament be truly an oversight body? No. It can't. You don't even have the time to do two things: serving as a member of the executive and also doing your work as all these things. We are aware of them. Why is it that we have allowed it to persist? But obviously, you have to come into power before you have the capacity to undertake the reforms. So what is going to happen? All that this GTP is saying is that, yes, we will abide by the Constitution until it is changed. But it only means that the ministers will be appointed, half of the ministers will be appointed from those in parliament, from those who are independent candidates. He made a very important inquiry as to whether we are interested in promoting some independent candidates. Yes, we are. And we are targeting about 30 members of parliament. 30 members of parliament. Now, and I know that there are parliamentarians, existing parliamentarians, and new ones to come in both the NDC and NPP, who are just waiting for Alan to become president, and then they will be more than willing to join the government, because it's the government of national unity. At that point, yes, you are there on the ticket of the NPP or the NDC. But now, because of your own record and of your own capacity, you will serve in a government of national unity. What a joy! What a joy that you are singled out now to become a member of the government of national unity, although you went to parliament. So it will come from the independence, it will come from party parliamentarians who are selected not on the basis of the parties, but on the basis of their own merit. So that's how it's going to be. And people are making a big fuss out of this. Ghana, in Ghana, that a president invites you as a member of parliament to serve in his government. You will leave the party and then come and join the government. There are many people in parliament, they are there because it will enable them and elevate them, hopefully, to become members of the executive. So I'm even making things easy. You will see what is going to happen in this country. A government of national unity. Half of them would even be more than willing. Because there you are serving Ghana, not your parties. That is the way we'll do. Then the last one is Mr. Fireman. I wanted to Anaminka no sutwi ana fire. Abe yesi the minister ma wudwane. So but I think it's very important. What the GTP is saying is that government has the wrong approach, has the wrong business model with sports. If government thinks that they can use government budget to develop sports, it ain't gonna happen. That is why if you read through the sports section, it's all about government empowering the private sector to establish sports academies and sports infrastructure and facilities of the highest standard. If a private person is investing, he will make sure that he does it very well. And he will maintain them. And he knows that he's also going to benefit from them. If you don't have world-class infrastructure in sports, you can't develop world-class sportsmen. I think it goes without saying. It's because if you don't have the right infrastructure, it requires the power from the Almighty God and His grace to be able to pull somebody through Olympics. But if you have the right facilities, even average performing talent can excel because of the... Recently when we built this swimming facility, you can see that gradually we are now in a position to nurse talents in. So, Fireman, it is all about government supporting the private sector to invest in world-class sports facilities. This whole notion of government wanting to do everything when you don't have the money, it amazes me. That is why we are talking about an enterprise economy. An enterprise economy is an economy driven by the private sector and by businesses. It's the economy that will create jobs and put money into people's pockets. That is what an enterprise economy is. Get the private sector to be at the center of development. They know where to find the money. Even with sports, you'll be amazed. If Alan becomes president with this policy on sports, you see what will happen. It's the same thing I did with the automobile industry. When I started talking about Ghana producing cars, people thought that this was too utopian. But just with their policy, with just my mind, pen, somebody mentioned the pencil, pen and paper. We have been able to attract within 1.5 years. We didn't borrow. We've been able to attract 5 out of the 6 top global companies that are manufacturing cars in the world. Volkswagen, Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai, Kia. It's never happened anywhere in the world. A developing country where you have 5 out of the 6 leading automobile companies competing, not just with one brand, Volkswagen has about 5 brands. Kia has about 5 or 4. Hyundai is the same thing. So this has become the real battleground for vehicles. And the beauty of this is that the assembly is only a small part of it. The real deal is in the manufacturing of components and spare parts. And that is going to also start under Alan Kyeremanten president.
Thank you. The great man, Alan Kyeremanten. I am here, say Akuffo Addo, I say Alan political career. Akuffo Addo na say no na munim. Na Alan so boa no mo say no. Alan ono ene man ho kwan. Mpanyfo bu bi say tua man ho kwan a ewo honey entimi endevelop wom. Me can the local language na say you can normal language na. If a tree or a timber didn't allow itself, honey can never develop within. Miss Anna Metin way a direct key to English. Say dear man who kwanya se bia brusi binyado. It's nowhere a war between a develop you. Say Alan Kyeremanten during those days no. Say when osinkete na okasi no ye be call run off no binya na wonya. Ena nka Ghana for to aba edimala na enka by now ko bia nka Ghana ntisi enka ebia nka by now Alan Kyeremanten akoma power won or the abo man we. Do you know say Alan a better person and better manager than Akuffo Addo? I'm telling you. Sa industry, trade and industry ministry hono. Say one district, one factory ni the kika kan Alan e di bayo. But Akuffo Addo tenasi mu say Alan omoya Alan beji animunyam until for that matter no omunye. They won't even put money on that. Nesika kra free ministry homa and I say free finance ministry emma because of say Alan na Akuffo Addo di pabonio what should that the nipa to ministry of trade and industry manisika so mfanye adwuma. It is how can the person run that ministry? Because Akuffo Addo di pabonio nkofo bi nti ase Akuffo Addo a bad person. He is a wicked. The wickedness runs in his veins. I'm telling you, the wickedness of Akuffo Addo, it runs in his veins. Blood, everything. To the extent say, so be konenim kakra. Na ne ho emwa sorry. Na ne ho mwa sorry. No person of praying platform. Alan, the great transformational plan, in fact, and some woman ends and back. And I can tell you, say, manifestos are abayano. Yours is exceptional, but in fact, you are not popular. Only popular, and a bedding say Ghana for Adwin bebo also because, and maybe another Ghana for Adwin a was no. Oh my Ghana for whom so much Jimmy. They don't think it for that matter no. You forsake them. And now then who betray your followers. Your followers were expecting you to go the battle with Akuffo Addo. No binya no wenya. But ukoji sika so ukoye deal. And I'll withdraw ye. And I'm paying for bow nine so. And now okay, Sãd This mama ye Akuffo Addo nko wie na mensoma beto so see say mufie japade. Ente Alan, say mistake na know say you have regretted it and kawunya konya nka obegina platforms no waka but when untimi nka because o kan kure nkusiaga and untimi nka o kan nkusiaga because I know be na ka say nobody took the decision for you that time who was catching Akuffo Addo I mean can story be intro me ta ka fa ibia na unyante da na sa during those days in 2008 Plateau MPP primaries no more come here kasa me kuro tamale what you say na bro mo ko na Akuffo Addo onu wakuduru honum dada a oni delegate ni edi nkobo Akuffo Addo ajo ko tinikam oni ni nkofo omo eko by land omo ti dwumadi na sia meeting kasa Akuffo Addo no mu di nkomo osro mo nto mame me ba o mine no de temale hanom me hati se chese o shebo akese o mo hwe papa ni ma no mo hwe no ba ko te wa na ba ko nya funko de o ti aze chale Alan Kyeremanten the flight e ba o ono so ba gidi o ba temale ha into for that matter no chale say Akuffo Addo no ba wo say o scan ko wan faka Alan ba o the dollars ba mo men sorry yin kohia no we sorry a we say oh nana na ye die no wadwuma kakra o enti nka be ya nka mamami excuse kakra na wa sorry na ko wa oh nana na ye die ni we are sorry sa ka the faithful ones omo edi na na echi no omo nyina kohia Alan Kyeremanten enti emisa se history da ho me let me tell you no kwal nim ebi onyantie da enti mami mbisa se mami mbisa se honom no mokoto Alan Kyeremanten Alan Kyeremanten won de wa tamale fo isi kasa Alan Kyeremanten Alan Kyeremanten won ta base no yes Alan Kyeremanten won sa enti no na the love of politics no na nina no it was in the hands of Alan no mo penasem no mo doron during those days na MPP for bia na no Alan Kyeremanten na oni Stephen in team during those days oni Stephen team ene wo hu de Akuffo Addo dey Stephen team appointment called the man no masa the way is kasa ukurum ha Mr. Brefajane omo kan de omo anu 2 months Akuffo Addo e man appointment kakra bi so nje onu kan nsinya 2 months kwa yan bai what you say. And during those days, now Alan so vibrant, so powerful in the MPP. It is Akuffo Addo show love with the man Alan. Now say Alan who say who actually for it for that matter no. Omo pe wa sim to mo be di wachi. Na obi true omo say na nanko na owi wabade a. Na nakwa say wa ya ade na odi you wa ya ade. What you say? Etino abusia Alan Kyeremanten ne open struggling on one kasa mani hunu onemu or how onemu the political challenges and how to win power any de keka ho na MPP fo mu mia no a odi fie MPP amanyi ko mia no ono ape enenya open enya de kom egiane me ono ahwehwe enenya because during those time no so when you say mistake na guy no say he is definitely going to be the next president. Because the one not done is the one MPP so is any abreno. And he is going to be the next president. But because of say Ujane ho Emma MPP for and in another don't go Akuffo Addo Muban and chain Jama Akuffo Addo Corona when you Jama Akuffo Addo Corona way say I no so Otisa and Semno I ne Akuffo Addo on funny home Akuffo Addo he does not care about him. What you say? Nti Akuffo Addo gina baby kura na osan ehedi no bra adromi mo 2 elections no osise wokọ Akuffo Addo sise wo to abama adromi na say independent candidate bi na turn chi o say NDC for na turn chi o say asem na okakan no na direct shade out the man Alan Kyeremanten. It was so powerful na Akuffo Addo aboni team po say obeka Alan, and that was the first time I reacted to Alan ni resignation from MPP no and the withdrawal from the MPP no. And you can opportunity ni na utilize it. The young politicians, this doesn't it doesn't revive around politics. So the entire the entire, I don't know how to even say it, any thought any thought so to be it mefa you may have ubetimi anya position bi wa adwumam omo be frɛ o ye pese di bia we ma because of your hard work, but oni akosia ana ne kwabena share the same boundaries ususu se mfa ma kwabena ana se ye mfa ma masa ye frɛ wa gima ho because onim de abrabon du be kwa wie se nka Alan oji sa ensem ni tum ena okọ run ofa empemfo bi tu ni fo nkwanfo bi ka kyerɛ na Alan menye saa because oyɛ saa oni nipa tim adwen ene Akuffo Addo hu de odi aye no Alan ji nkofo no omu nsɛm no ɛto mu a ewi akyira sesei ono wa betray ne ho ene wa hu de Alan the political career ene is one of the most meka say okasa kwa nkofo ntie uhu se nkofo di Alan na chama sa anya hwe ntie o nkofo ani abra mu pesika die nkofo petition tashe yes entino oh mami nkodi Alan abo mami nkodi na chi ebia na obechiche t-shirt after all apron ne ma bi obo market last I think the last week or last 2 weeks now Ebunu region sunwan na nkofo mu di na chi omo ko hia no na nya asem ketwa ewo ho no enti abusia we enyensesia edema nyina this is a big lesson I will say in for bi near the 2 ya adwemu because Alan how a man who kwan ema Akuffo Addo ewuram no ene Alan dey into this mess Akuffo Addo corona ene Sunday ne nkrofo adeliti ano e bro mo san apɛ flagbearership raise now ono no ma ho kwan ma obae no ehu nipa ono aso esan ehwo adeliti a se wunya because ono aboni tinimpo se japade document no omo ebe execute intini for that matter ne was omo penipa a ono be trust no a ono betime chinchin no yewura bomia nti o makwan e ma Alan o ma o makwan e ma Alan o mada o nipa nti e kasa yo reasons nti Alan Kyeremanten wan kasa upe se bia buru se benyado de upe se unya na unsa aka no nti ne me I say enyem it is not surprise how Alan is suffering to capture political attention no me it doesn't it just I am not surprised at all because he gained it during those time Emma nkofo de omakuma ma no nkofo di de chi and this is how the powerful masses are how the powerful masses can be and as a mass can be nkofo bebre omokan mu bom so omodo na ewi akire obi tru omo masa it is a doom to you because obi de nakoma die hard fan nti e ka say die hard fan obetime ewu ama it is a koba se uko betray nipa na nipa no wa ha no nti Alan ebi na odi ye omo no nti ne esokatua na aba no ebe din Alan be wini election ukroma nti ko na koto aba na GM and the fact me de min kan da Alan edin se obetime anweni se koba se ebia o yusu na adwen and I know say it is a plan eka ho so mpese o mudi MPP co-position o mpese kwambia so o mudi MPP osono no ko hye bush na omuhu say the relevance of Alan and I said the presence of Alan in MPP is very important. I know that that is another factor in Alan's project. I don't know, nobody can deny it. Mega BTM minimum. I know it. And it is good. I support them. I support you to come and destroy Ghana there. You can more position, no more repair party, no more samba biwa. The cry beboa. Change the beto aso na masel man no enti nyamiani no kwadi o man fa no koranya adwuma kuruma opportunity bi onye dibia bi a take that advantage, take it, grab it with your 2 hands. Even we do tikura beka ho afaka ho odo bubedi mu afaka ho na jibobo Alan yesanka nyeni sene he doesn't look lucrative. Alan doesn't look appetizing. He doesn't look enticing. He doesn't look beautiful. He doesn't look nice. He doesn't look handsome in the hands of Ghanaians. Yo, mega me brof meka oyen kra be hyew. Edi Alan ono ape ope nenya before say anyo bi na edi ni ti age atwaman oyebu asiakon ena edi ni ti atwaman ade age atwaman. Enti Alan Kyeremanten, the current situation of him as a politician no, in fact me enyem nwanwa and he should suffer because nkofo bi di omo akoma ma e na wo bitri omo e na mokofo Akuffo Addo e na Akuffo Addo no waba abe mafia Ghana afi na wo dwane afiri party mu ntinam ka wo be hu ala no dwane tinam tina party ni ye ka Akuffo Addo asema na mumu so no so ejinja wo tina party ni mu yaho tamakulu nyankopon shirure okae osise de Akuffo Addo ebisi president Ghana for ebeda na ne ngwabonti ye bedwendwene abribia founding members ebebre ewum ta amwakumba aka sasemwe Akuffo Addo enyi nipa wese edi Ghana shedensa otu wono ena we omu eka MPP ho they are part of the MPP omu ye MPP mpanyifo ena omu kasasa otu wono wo futuja otu wono Akuffo chati se mega meti he woni hwie t-shirt pa binyin tu sora wakasa ma ko huntintin na atwempe masa ko pa aduani bi di na da na bompai and think how to improve in life. Think the way be say ye adwuma nyiska. Don't support the greedy and bastard politicians like Akuffo Addo ne Baumia. E kana mutu wono munti ase. Nyankopon nhira mo mfa wonsi. Diane mega mami chiba for ewo New York America bridge mamu. Mami Nyankopon nyo kese. Mami Agnes ehwemi fi UK. Mami Nyankopon nhira papa se wo hwemi a. Sa so mami roye bi ehwemi fi UK. Ani Germany fo amohwe Nyankopon nhira mo. Amsterdam abusia countries ni dos ma me for we see Ghana for amohwe bia ni Nyankopon nhira obi bia sa bia no so mujemre na mohwe Mega TV. Macro, bye bye.